Hello and welcome to Round of 16 Showcase from Sweetheart Showdown 2. Yeah, I'm really excited honestly for this pool as well. I didn't work that much on this one, but yes, I think this pool might be great honestly. Okay, we can start now with number 1. Yeah, number 1. What we can say about this map? This is a pretty known map, honestly, from the tournament community. I've seen it a lot on ETX. I've seen it a lot on Romice. I've seen it a lot on other tournaments. So especially on 5-digit ones from like 2 to 3 years ago. So yeah, what we can say about this number 1? That it's pretty simple. As you can check, it's CS4, AR 9.6, OD9. The thing that it might stand out is that it has a little bit of tapping, but honestly I don't think it is enough for players to trip up some aim players. So yeah, it's pretty basic honestly, it's pretty comfortable BPM also, it's pretty comfortable angles, nothing much. I think this is one of the most overused maps out of the pool. It shouldn't matter honestly since it's a number 1. I didn't check the results. I don't have the stats, but I would check the stats later and see how big number 1 was. But usually these kind of maps aren't that big, given how gamble usually the number 1 pick is at low SR, at low rounds, because it's usually just FC or lose the point basically. And given how the amount of aim diff spikes usually number 1 has, it makes quite tricky sometimes to hit them with the consistency. Yeah, as we can check, we are halfway through the map, and moreover the triangles that we had there, we didn't have a super huge spike. Yeah, now there's a break. Honestly, having a break here is slightly criminal. But yeah, now with the match finalizing, we can say that this pool has been, I think we have been working with this pool more, like we worked more on this pool than the last round. So yeah, I personally think this is slightly better. There are some picks that I really liked and enjoyed to pull on this one. So yeah. Number 1 stream map trend. I mean, yeah, usually the number 1 has slow aim in them. Okay, that is for number 1. Thank you, Ahel, for the replays. So now we have number 2. I'm 100% sure people know about this map. This is usually considered a farm map for those 4 digits, low 4 digits that get either their first 400 or their first 500. It depends on the accuracy. But yeah, I think this song has another set that is slightly more farm than this one. But yeah, this set is also pretty good. As we can check, this is a stream map that is more oriented to the flow aim part, but I wouldn't underestimate the tapping aspects of this map, especially since the OD is pretty high, OD 9.5 this early on the pulse. It might chip some players off with the accuracy. So yeah, we can maybe have some low scores on this normal 2 actually. Yeah, as we can see, it's a more consistency test. Most of the tapping players shouldn't have any issues I've seen in this map, or at least getting high scores. So yes, yes, it's a stream map, a common stream map. It has a lot of high-spaced streams of the KI sections. Actually, how many PP does this give with HR? Oh, this gives 700 with HR. Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay, good thing to note, honestly. But yeah, watch out with those Axel Dixel streams. Even it can trip off the players that do not that are side reading or didn't practice this map specifically. Well, overall it's a pretty consistent map. You don't really have to play it that much. Just check that it doesn't have any pattern that is really easy breakable. Now at the ending we have more spaced burst, a little bit more of flame compared to the rest of the map. But yeah, it's basically a shark stream map. That is a space. That is quite spaced, honestly. Yeah, now with the map finalizing, watch out for those 1/3. It shouldn't be that much of an issue. So yeah, that was Nomad 2. Time for Nomad 3. A map that I'm pretty sure at least the non-batch players know of 4WC 2025. Actually, run of 16 of 4WC 2025 custom map. It's a Nomad 3 that combines quite well the flow aim elements and the snap elements of Nomad 3. I would say this is pretty hard, honestly, to be consistent on. But yeah, overall the skill check on this is more about the consistency to hit those snaps. Also, this song is quite a banger, honestly. Also, no, actually, this is the longest map on the pool. I think this is the longest map on the pool. Yeah, this is the longest map on the pool. So yeah, that might add about the consistency check on those snaps. Yeah, I agree. This is one of the best Nomad 3s ever made, especially on 2025. Honestly, I really enjoyed playing this one. Sadly, I couldn't play it on 4WC, but here we are pulling this on SHS2 too, for those who didn't play for WC, so they can enjoy this masterpiece made by Songkak. How do you pronounce that name? Songkak, right? Also, the sliders are pretty easy to either misread them or get a 100 on the slider end. So I'll be careful with that as well from the snaps. But I'm pretty comfortable. This is one of the picks that the top seeds with 100% choose against the lowest seeds, because this is more of a consistency, high skill ceiling check compared to No Mod 1 and No Mod 2, where a little bit more simpler on the structure. Yeah, this is an insane this spike. Oh, that's a sad slider break. Honestly, yeah, but the map is really easy to get either a miss or a slider break anywhere. As I said, I think this is one of the best picks that the top tier, top seeding teams will pick 100%. Yeah, with the map finished, let's move on to No Mod 4, which is Sweet Lemon Tea from Red Side. I don't remember if this was a custom map or not. Oh yeah, it was! It is... I think the extra div was pulled for the Tea Party House. It is an original song from Red Side for the Tea Party House, which is a low 5-digit tournament actually. Let me check if it was this div or the low or the extra div. Because pulling this map on a low 5-digit tournament is quite interesting, honestly. Yeah, as you can see, it has quite a lot of bursts, quite a lot of big sliders. Yeah, well, specifically what we've been pulling on No Mod 4s. This has slightly less reading than the previous two No Mod 4s, but in my opinion, this is way trickier to play than either qualifiers or bottom 32 No Mod 4s. Given the amount of aim control it requires to not get a 100 on those slider ends, and to get consistent on the accuracy on this map. Party House, let me check. I think it was the extra div. I would be surprised if the top div was pulled. Yeah, it was the top div. This was actually a 6.2 map before it got ranked. That's interesting. Right now, it seems pretty difficult for a 6.6 star pool, honestly, especially for low 5 digits. That's pretty interesting, honestly. Yeah, as the map is finalizing, we have a. Honestly, I think this map is it's pretty easy to be consistent on if you can play tech. So this might be a good pick for either lower seeds or pretty tech heavy or gimmicky heavy teams. See, time for No Mod 5, which is as well another custom map from another tournament. It was made for... I think it was a custom map, let me check. It has a lot of diffs. Yeah, it was... The 3 diff were made for different tournaments. This diff specifically was made by Chaos Greek Community Tournament. But yeah, as we can check, this is our reading map of the pool. From similar structure that we had on Route 32, similar structure that we had on qualifiers, where No Mod 5 was the more reading oriented, stacked type of map. This is way more heavy on the stacks, on the reading, compared to the last 2 reading maps. But the AR, it's pretty comfortable, honestly, for this map. And it has way less mechanics compared to the previous 2 maps. So honestly, I think this is one of the best picks for low AR teams, and one of the best ban for lower seeding teams that do not specialize on gimmick. So I'm 100% this is going to be the banned or played map out of the pool. But fortunately, this is pretty practicable. Like, if you are slightly comfortable on low AR, this map is 100% practicable. You can play it a couple of times and you will get used to the stacks, either by memorization or by getting used to the song rhythms. Yeah, we're heading towards the last guy, which is, in my opinion, the hardest one. Yeah, just look at these stacks. Will there be any FCs on the round? I hope so, honestly. I really like the song. Yeah, with that, we are heading to the ending of No Mod 5. Time for Hidden 1, which is a rhythm map. This is a pretty interesting map. It's like a combination of both rhythm and a little bit of speed because of the 240 BPM burst. So yeah, this is the more gimmicky type of tapping out of the pool compared to the Hard Rock 1 of last pool. So yeah, also pretty short map, pretty known map as well, made by, in this specific case, made by Down. As we can check, there are a lot of 1/3 burst. We have a lot of 1/4 burst on those 240 BPM burst. On the 1/3, I think it's around 200 BPM. Or it's around 190. I don't remember correctly the number, but yeah, it's around those numbers. Good thing to note is that the AR is 9.4, so the map is not as dense as compared to last week's Hard Rock 1. But yeah, the hidden might trip you off on aiming this map specifically. So yeah, it's a good combination of overall technical skill sets with a lot of tapping presence, a lot of burst. One of the shortest maps out of the pool. So time for Hidden 2. Thank you all for the replays. We really appreciate the playtesters that gave the replays, especially for the later notice out of this pool. So yeah, we have Hidden 2, which is slightly less stack reading heavy compared to Nomad 5 and more aim heavy, but this is still pretty reading heavy. If you're not comfortable with AR8, you are 100% missing on this. It is a pretty consistent test, honestly, out of the AR8 comfort, with a little bit of stacks, burst that are quite easy to misread on if you're not comfortable at this AR. This was, if I remind correctly, this was an edit for the Broccoli no, this was for Broccoli Cup. This was for Woodley Cup 2024. I don't really know, honestly. But yeah, this is a ranked map. This is an AR8 edit for a ranked map. Go play the ranked map. It is insanely good. Also, this is the second longest map in the pool, with 3 minutes and 30 seconds, so quite a lot of consistency to test here. So the cuts there, it might trip a lot of players into missing. So the band of this song is insanely good. I really like the voice out of this band. I think this is one of pretty known J rock bands. Also, watch out for this specific section. For that specific patterns, watch out. Play them up at least once, because that pattern specifically would trip off all the players that are side reading. But yeah, the map is overall pretty consistent on its difficulty. Aside from that specific glitch spike, it doesn't have any huge or insane reading these spikes. So this might be a good pick for the... Bro, what was that miss? Let me ping Emerald Ages for this one. The miss on air, it hurts me. Okay, time for Hard Rock 1, which we have a hair replay. A map from Paradogis, I think. Yes, this is Paradogis map. This is one of the less used maps out of the pool. I think I don't remember seeing this map in any tournament. But let me check it with the bot. But yeah, this is more mech techy oriented type of It's like a soft tech, light tech, mech tech, like all things combined. Honestly, it is pretty aimey. It is quite tapping heavy. It has a lot of light tech elements. So yeah, this is overall a pretty good test. Pretty good hydro comfort test. Here's the first diff spike. Yeah, as we can check, it is pretty, in my opinion, pretty harsh. This one is also one of the picks that should be on the priority list out of the high seeds to pick against the low seeds, because the consistency check, the consistency skill sailing check on this map is pretty insane, in my opinion. Really easy to slide the break on any part of the map. Really easy to get a lot of slider breaks, especially on those stiff spikes. Also, let's just enjoy this song, honestly. One of the best theater artists that has to offer also both Ferikichus and Sensai. Now it comes the second diff spike. There goes the miss from Maheos. Another slider break. Yes, we can check. This map is pretty difficult to get a consistent score on. Also quite aim heavy as well. Now we are finishing the map. A pretty low section at the ending. Yeah, that was basically the map. Also one of the longest maps out of the pool. Now we have Hard Rock 2, which is an old style map. Also a really known song out of the community. It is impossible that you're an Osu player and you don't know this song, especially if you are an OG. Or that you at least played the game before 2018. But yeah, as we can check, this is CS 6.5 high spacing burst of really low BPM, 128. Yeah, this is a lot of aim control required. Not as much tapping, honestly. You don't need basically any tapping to play this, but a lot of aim control and a lot of consistency and precision. So this is a pretty hit or miss map. You can either get a consistently high score or get absolutely nuked on this one. But yeah, this is one of the shortest maps out of the pool. I think no, this is not the shortest, but it is pretty close. So yeah, if you consistently miss on this one, you won't get a really high score. Yeah, as we can see, this is a pretty unique map, honestly. One of the most unique maps out of the pool. This is what you would usually see at Fremont 2, actually, um, not at Hard Rock 2. Okay, time for the DT maps, which we have DT1, which is 266, almost 270 BPM aim map. Yes, it is the tradition of this tournament. This map is really, really awkward to aim. It has a lot of snaps of this high BPM, which it is basically what we've been testing of DT1 from round of 16 and from round of 32 and qualifiers. This is still AR10. This is AR10. It is quite shorter compared to the other two DT1s that we had previously, but yeah, this is much, much harder with those snaps. Especially since the BPM and the high AR makes it pretty difficult to read those snaps and to get consistency on this map. One of the other maps that will be we picked a lot by the high seed teams. Also a tapping section, which don't worry, that's the only tapping section that it has the whole map. So it can be double tap, so don't worry, aim players, aim one tricks. You can double tap those. You will still get good accuracy if you get high AC compared to the rest. Don't worry. Yeah, as we can see, the map is pretty consistent on the difficulty. It doesn't have an insane div spike, except that tapping section, which I wouldn't consider it the hardest part of the map, since the aim is really tricky to play. Time for DT2. This is a speed map, 300 BPM tapping burst. Yeah, this is one of the pettiest specials. One of the maps, one of the type of speed maps that you 100% will see on a petty spool. So expect the highest SR to have this kind of map. Yeah, as we can check, this had a lot of 300 BPM burst, a lot of 3 note burst, a lot of 5 note burst, and even 8 note burst of 300 BPM. This is insanely specialist sided, so any teams that have a lot of speed will love this map, and any team that doesn't specialize on tapping or doesn't have any speed OTP will be a 100% sure ban of this pick. This is the amount of finger control and consistency on the speed aspect on this map is insane. As we can check, the map is pretty short. We're three fours through in, and we just basically started the map. Yeah, Yeah, I'm going to see a lot of Loac FCs on this one. It is insane 300 BPM burst at RO16. If you consider that the previous pool didn't have much tapping, yeah, on this pool you 100% get excited about this DT2. Time for DT3. Which is a stamina map. Given that we have a more speed finger control type of map on DT2, we have a stamina map on DT3. This is pretty comfortable, honestly. Any tapping players can FC this map 100% sure. But I am not confident about any teams that doesn't have any tapping to get a decent score on this one. So yeah, you won't. This pool has at least 2 picks that are really tapping oriented, really tapping sided, really specialist sided. So I'm pretty sure the tapping players will be pretty content about this. Will be pretty happy compared to the other 2 pools that didn't have that much tapping. Yeah, this is a more finger control section, which might trip you if you are side reading. Please do not side read the DTs. I don't recommend side reading the DTs. I don't recommend side reading any of the pool, honestly, but yeah, if you would side read, this is one of the maps that I do not recommend to get a side read on. This is the shortest map on the pool also. A lot of stamina involving right at the ending, right at the beginning of the map. So yeah, if you're a tapping player, this is your map. Pretty comfy BPM too, to 20 BPM. An insanely high note burst at that stream. That's the death stream basically. So yeah, that's it for the DTs. Now we have Fremont maps. We have Fremont 1, which is a really interesting choice, in my opinion. It has a really interesting combination of reading of hidden given the stacks. The AR, it is also pretty low compared for the BPM, which is 220, which might trip off the hidden players, given the density the map has, the amount of stacks the map has, how uncomfortable the map can get. And with HR, of course, it's the mechanics of the maps. But yeah, this is one of the most interesting picks out of the pool, which, in my opinion, it is pretty balanced between hidden and hard rock. The hidden player has to play a lot of stacks, a lot of reading elements on a map that is quite dense, and the hard rock player gets a 220 BPM. This is 220, right? Yeah, 220 BPM aim map, which usually on hard rock, the higher the BPM, the harder it gets either to act or to be more consistent on the aim. So yeah, you will really have to get a really good pair, a really good duo out of this one. So the best structured duos that are not entirely specialized, that are more consistent overall, that are more all-rounder. This is your pick. Yeah, as we can check, this map has a lot of aim. The map is really reading intensive as well. Not as reading intensive as Hidden Tournament 5, but much more reading intensive than the rest compared to the rest of the pool. We're reaching at the ending. right now. Which gets really difficult. That section specifically would get pretty hard on Hard Rock. So yeah, if you have a Hard Rock and a good Hard Rock and good hidden player on your duo, go for this map 100%. It could also be one of the most used mixed card maps. So yeah, this map will be interesting to see on the matches. Time for free mod 2, which given how gimmicky both No Mod 5, Hidden 2 and Hard Rock 2 were, yeah, this is more mechanics based. It is pretty similar to what we had on Radar 32, but this is much more spaced, much more BPM. It is much more consistent. I wouldn't call this, honestly, that reading intensive compared to what we had on Free Mod 1, but yeah, this is still AR8. So if you are not comfortable on AR8 at all, you are missing on this map. But this is one of the most gentler maps for those who cannot really play either hidden or low AR, which it is a really good option given the gimmick, one of the gimmicks of the tournament about the pair. So the Hard Rock Mechanics pair duo might be able to get a decent score on this one with hidden. So yeah, I wouldn't be scared, honestly, picking this. Or if you are, you can either get a mixed card. I think the free mods are really good maps to get a mixed card on. Oh yeah, I meant gimmicky as in reading based, like much more reading based compared to this map. This is really really tame on the readings aspect of the map. Yeah, we're basically on the this spike of the map right now, which might trip off a lot of players or make some players to get a miss on. I'm not too sure how comfortable this is with easy. Let me check the easy multiplier on this one. I think this is between 1.8 and 1.9. We haven't really decided yet on that one, but we will let you know the easy multipliers once the pool is already on sheet. Don't worry. We will make an announcement later about that one. So wait for the announcement, and you will check the easy multipliers for the free mods. So now we have free mod 3, which is our first custom map for this tournament. Thank you so much, Amethystas, for the insane custom map you made for this free mod 3. So this is the more alt techy type of map. As we can see, every play is with easy, which is insane in my opinion. This is between the 3 free mods, this is the hardest one to play with easy. So yeah, let me check which are the stats of the map. Give me a second. load it again. This is CS 3.6 AR 9.2 OD8. One of the lowest SR maps, even lowest. No, this is actually the lowest SR map. The second lowest SR map of the pool. Since the lowest one is normal 5. Yeah, as we can check, this map is insanely hard. This is not 5.6 at all. I don't know how Amethysta's makes their map so low SR. But yeah, as we can check, this is the swing all tech, which in my opinion the pool needed another tech map, given we only had no mod 4 at Hard Rock 1, so another tech map it is pretty much appreciated, honestly. Yeah, this is a pretty long map. Not that much long, it's just 3 minutes, but it might feel longer given how hard the map is. Especially with easy, like, just look at this. How can you even read this? Insane replay, honestly. I'm literally speechless. Insane FC from a gambler. Easy FC, honestly. Or was one a slider break? I didn't really check at the beginning. Maybe it was a slider break at the beginning, but insane replay. So yeah, time for the love map, which is a video we had on to show the 2 players on this map. We unfortunately couldn't show the video on last showcase, but we had the video on this one. So yeah, this is basically how the map would look like when 2 players play it, like the Tag 2 map. So yeah, as we can check, this is an Amish map. 1/3 type of aim map, but it is much more less BPM compared to the Primo 3. But yeah, this is a Tag 2 map. This is literally impossible to play without Tag 2, so or impossible to FC in Tag 2. Yeah, on those paths, it is basically impossible to play this without Tag 2. So I'm hoping the love gets picked this round. Remember, this is not bannable. You cannot ban this map. I think this one is no mod as well compared to last round. Let me ask Betty. But yeah, you are seeing yourself, given the replay, it's no mod for for everyone. Quite a banger, actually. Yeah, this is one of the maps that you 100% would practice with your partner, whichever will be your duo. Remember, this is not bannable. You cannot ban love maps. I would really like to see love map being. I would really like to see this love map being big. Also, this is AR 8.8. I'm pretty sure it won't get as harsh to play with no mod. So yeah, this would be pretty interesting to see, in my opinion. Yeah, that's basically the map. Very cute cursor dance. Yeah, I agree. I really love the love maps. Time for tiebreaker. For the longest map out of the pool, we have a pretty aimish map. Since pool wasn't really focused on aim this time around, honestly, we decided to have a more aim-oriented tiebreaker. A map that, in my opinion, is insanely well done, made by Laser. Who's Laser? Okay, made by Laser and Jones San, I think. I think it was or it was inspired by Howard Jones and maps. But this is an insanely good map with an old stylish mapping, but I really enjoy the map, in my opinion. Laser is Laser. Yeah, I know Laser is Laser, but this was inspired on Jones and maps. It is that type of the type of mapping. Fixed in Laser, bro. Yo, Betty, do not laugh. I know what I meant. You know what I meant. It literally says on the description of the map, special thanks to Jolsan. You're telling me this was not inspired on their maps. Man. Okay, back to the map. Yeah, as we can check, it is a pretty aim consistency check. But not as in a nomad one, but quite different, honestly. It is pretty awkward. It has a pretty awkward jumps. It has some burst, which might trip off the aim specialist, especially one that we will see in a bit. But yeah, the main focus on this map is to be consistent on 225 BPM aim, kinda awkwardish aim, as we can check. Which it might be even playable with hard rock and hidden. For those who really want that extra multipliers the mod has. Yeah, man, this song, the map is insanely well done. I really love this one. Imagine hard rock on this one. Dude, this is HR ball. You cannot tell me this isn't. You wouldn't play this with HR. Yeah, this is best of 9, one ban as well. This is the same as run of 32. I wouldn't play any maps that I pull. Why not? Don't say that. You're the head puller. You have to say that you would play every map that you pull. Okay, yeah. Watch out for that stream. That burst. Watch out, those aim specialists. I suck. Bro, you don't have to be good at the game to be able to play the maps you like. This is only 7 stars. You can play this. Especially with hard rock. You can play this with hard rock, dude. Okay, since we are finishing the map, we can check Insanely FC by the way by our replayer Aheo. Thank you so much for every replayer that has been made a replay for this showcase. Uh, the pool and the stats. I think that we still have matches to finish for stats, but yeah, the pool will be published soon. And when the pool will be published, there will be an announcement that will tell you about the easy multipliers on the free mods and the tiebreakers. So thank you so much for being on this stream. And I hope you enjoy this round of 16 pool. I really love the song choice of this pool. I really like the skill set distribution of this one as well. I think this is much more. It has much more mixed maps. It has much more skill sets. So yeah, good luck for every team, and thank you so much for playing for those unfortunate teams that would get eliminated on this round. So see you next week, and thank you for being on the stream.